"Hard will it be for you to find her," replied the Raven. "Anyhow, leave your silver snuff–box with us. We will look at it and remember you." The Prince handed over his silver snuff–box, took his leave, and went his way. One day he went, another day he went, and on the third day he came to where Marya Morevna was. She caught sight of her love, flung her arms around his neck, burst into tears, and exclaimed: "Oh, Prince Ivan, why did you disobey me and go looking into the closet and letting out Koshchei the Deathless?" "Forgive me, Marya Morevna. Remember not the past. Much better fly with me while Koshchei the Deathless is out of sight. Perhaps he won't catch us." So they got ready and fled. Now Koshchei was out hunting. Towards evening he was returning home when his good steed stumbled beneath him.
"Why stumblest thou, sorry jade? Scentest thou some ill?"
The steed replied: "Prince Ivan has come and carried off Marya Morevna."
"Is it possible to catch them?"
"It is possible to sow wheat, to wait till it grows up, to reap it and thresh it, to grind it to flour, to make 5 pies of it, to eat those pies, and then to start in pursuit, and even then to be in time." Koshchei galloped off and caught up Prince Ivan.
"Now," says he, "this time I will forgive you, in return for your kindness in giving me water to drink, and a second time I will forgive you, but the third time beware, I will cut you to bits."
Then he took Marya Morevna from him and carried her off. But Prince Ivan sat down on a stone and burst into tears. He wept and wept, and then returned back again to Marya Morevna. Now Koshchei the Deathless happened not to be at home. "Let us fly, Marya Morevna." "Ah, Prince Ivan, he will catch us." "Suppose he does catch us, at all events we shall have spent an hour or two together." So they got ready and fled. As Koshchei the Deathless was returning home, his good steed stumbled beneath him.
"Why stumblest thou, sorry jade? Scentest thou some ill?"
"Prince Ivan has come and carried off Marya Morevna."
"Is it possible to catch them?"
"It is possible to sow barley, to wait till it grows up, to reap it and thresh it, to brew beer, to drink ourselves drunk on it, to sleep our fill, and then to set off in pursuit, and yet to be in time." Koshchei galloped off, caught up Prince Ivan.
"Didn't I tell you that you should not see Marya Morevna any more than your own ears?"
And he took her away and carried her off home with him. Prince Ivan was left there alone. He wept and wept. Then he went back again after Marya Morevna. Koshchei happened to be away from home at that moment. "Let us fly, Marya Morevna." "Ah, Prince Ivan, he is sure to catch us and hew you into pieces." "Let him hew away. I cannot live without you." So they got ready and fled. Koshchei the Deathless was returning home when his good steed stumbled beneath him.
"Why stumblest thou? Scentest thou any ill?"
"Prince Ivan has come and has carried off Marya Morevna." Koshchei galloped off, caught Prince Ivan, chopped him into little pieces, put them into a barrel, smeared it with pitch and bound it with iron hoops, and flung it into the blue sea. But Marya Morevna he carried off home. At that very time the silver articles turned black which Prince Ivan had left with his brothers-in-law. "Ah," said they, "the evil is accomplished, sure enough." Then the eagle hurried to the blue sea, caught hold of the barrel and dragged it ashore. The falcon flew away for the water of life, and the raven for the water of death. Afterwards they all three met, broke open the barrel, took out the remains of Prince Ivan, washed them, and put them together in fitting order. The raven sprinkled them with the water of death. The pieces joined together, the body became whole. The falcon sprinkled it with the water of life. Prince Ivan shuddered, stood up, and said: "Ah, what a time I've been sleeping!" "You'd have gone on sleeping a good deal longer if it hadn't been for us," replied his brothers-in-law. "Now come and pay us a visit." "Not so, brothers. I shall go and look for Marya Morevna." And when he had found her he said to her, "Find out from Koshchei the Deathless whence he got so good a steed." So Marya Morevna chose a favorable moment, and began asking Koshchei about it. Koshchei replied,
"Beyond thrice 9 lands in the 13th kingdom, on the other side of the fiery river, there lives a Baba Yaga. She has so good a mare that she flies right around the world on it every day, and she has many other splendid mares. I watched her herds for her 3 days without losing a single mare, and in return for that the Baba Yaga gave me a foal."
"But how did you get across the fiery river?"
"Why, I've a handkerchief of this kind. When I wave it thrice on the right hand there springs up a very lofty bridge, and the fire cannot reach it."
Marya Morevna listened to all this, and repeated it to Prince Ivan, and she carried off the handkerchief and gave it to him. So he managed to get across the fiery river, and then went on to the Baba Yaga's. Long went he on without getting anything either to eat or to drink. At last he came across an outlandish bird and its young ones. Says Prince Ivan, "I'll eat one of these chickens." "Don't eat it, Prince Ivan," begs the outlandish bird. "Some time or other I'll do you a good turn." He went on farther and saw a hive of bees in the forest. "I'll get a bit of honeycomb," says he. "Don't disturb my honey, Prince Ivan," exclaims the queen bee. "Some time or other I'll do you a good turn." So he didn't disturb it, but went on. Presently there met him a lioness with her cub. "Anyhow, I'll eat this lion cub," says he. "I'm so hungry I feel quite unwell." "Please let us alone, Prince Ivan," begs the lioness. "Some time or another I'll do you a good turn." "Very well, have it your own way," says he. Hungry and faint he wandered on, walked farther and farther, and at last came to where stood the house of Baba Yaga. Round the house were set 12 poles in a circle, and on each of 11 of these poles was stuck a human head. The 12th alone remained unoccupied. "Hail, Granny!"
"Hail, Prince Ivan! Wherefore have yon come? Is it of your own accord or on compulsion?"
"I have come to earn from you a heroic steed."
"So be it, Prince. You won't have to serve a year with me, but just 3 days. If you take good care of my mares I'll give you an heroic steed, but if you don't, why, then you mustn't be annoyed at finding your head stuck on top of the last pole up there."
Prince Ivan agreed to these terms. The Baba Yaga gave him food and drink, and bade him set about his business. But the moment he had driven the mares afield they cocked up their tails, and away they tore across the meadows in all directions. Before the Prince had time to look round they were all out of sight. Thereupon he began to weep and to disquiet himself, and then he sat down upon a stone and went to sleep. But when the sun was near its setting the outlandish bird came flying up to him, and awakened him, saying, "Arise, Prince Ivan, the mares are at home now." The Prince arose and returned home. There the Baba Yaga was storming and raging at her mares, and shrieking, "Whatever did ye come home for?" "How could we help coming home?" said they. "There came flying birds from every part of the world, and all but pecked our eyes out."
"Well, well, to-morrow don't go galloping over the meadows, but disperse amid the thick forests."
Prince Ivan slept all night. In the morning the Baba Yaga says to him,
"Mind, Prince, if you don't take good care of the mares, if you lose merely one of them, your bold head will be stuck on that pole."
He drove the mares afield. Immediately they cocked up their tails and dispersed among the thick forests. Again did the Prince sit down on the stone, weep and weep, and then go to sleep. The sun went down